JT, good to see you again, my man. We did a similar thing, that was what, January? Earlier this year? Right before Riv, February?
Wow,
At Annandale. Just talking on the range. I'm gonna bother you on the range again here.
Okay.
This time we're gonna talk drivers.
Okay.
Okay, so you know, great driver, the golf ball. I wanna figure out how you do it.
Okay.
Let me start, just what's your swing thought? You got a swing thought with the driver? What are you trying to do besides hit it long and straight?
I mean, I'd say it kind of depends, I guess, on what I'm going through or whatever swing wise. I mean, for me, when I get off, I get a little too long. So keeping my length a little shorter, kind of compacted. There's a couple different ways I try to think of that, whether it's, you know, not letting my arms get past my body or getting my right hand as far from my body as possible or keeping my arms straight. It's like I kind of have like a small bag of thoughts that generate the same thing. And lately it's been trying to just feel like my right hand is just far from my body and my head. It's weird, but it works for me. So,
All right, let's see one.
I'll give it a try.
Tight draw, is that what we're looking for?
It was a little toey, but that's why it had the draw. But I mean, that's I like when misses go in the fairway. That's good.
I'm not used to being the ball flipper guy.
Yeah.
You need a
I can
a
tell you're not
guy.
giving it much. You're not
Well, I don't want to
confidently
hurt. I don't want to
throwing
hurt
it.
you. That would be a bad way to start the day. Breaking your hand, you know.
Yeah.
Have you always been a guy that bombed it? Did you have to learn how to bomb it? Is that something that's always come natural?
No, definitely not. I've always been tiny. I mean, growing up, I was I hit it nowhere, and I've always swung really, really hard. So I think as I grew and got a little stronger and kind of learned how to maximize, it all just caught up. I'd say it probably wasn't until like the end of high school when I started being considered longer than average, I guess. But yeah, right now now I like more fairways than I do anything. Because once you get to a certain point, you know, length is nice and everything, but I like fairways. So there's definitely a time and place.
Ball speed was up a little bit.
Well, I'm getting looser and looser as we go.
That one had a little more steam on it there too with the throw. How have, like you mentioned, you know, trying to find more fairways. How's your driving just evolved? You've been on tour for, gosh, what, almost 10 years now?
Yeah, coming up on 10 years.
Weird to say out loud, probably.
It's very, very wild. It's definitely changed a lot. I think I'm definitely more mature than when I got my tour card, and also managing my game. I think, you know, I pretty much had a game plan for a golf course, and I did it no matter what and how I was feeling, no matter the wind, anything. And it was, you know, barely put the tee in the ground and just hit up and launch it probably higher than anybody with very low spin, which was great when it was great, but it could get crooked, and also just it's not as versatile. I think I'm good now, or I'm better. I think I have my second gear, if you will. It's definitely faster, and I have that, but I don't tee it as high. Like, I don't feel like I'm still clearly swinging hard. My feet are not ever going to be in the ground, but I'm not stepping up like, all right, I'm just going to absolutely hit this as far and as high as I can. You know, it's more shot shape, you know, trajectory. I'll tee it a little bit lower. It's not going to fly as far. It may not be as low spin or whatnot, but it's, like I said, it's just more of getting the dispersion from here to here, and then knowing I have that if I need it, kind of thing.
So what does that look like if you're, you know, if this fairway is 40 yards more narrow than this one? I mean, what are you looking to do?
So I mean, it's a shot out there. Or what? Yeah, people have seen me hit. I mean, it's like I call it my bullet. I mean, I tee it quite a bit lower. I like to work the ball left to right, contrary to those two toe balls I just hit that drew.
You're nervous, probably.
But like, I am, yeah. You make me nervous, but like I said, I mean, that's, you know, I'm trying to aim it kind of just inside the rough line, and if, you know, my toe balls are, call it, you know, 15 or so yards just left of where I'm looking, like that's a great miss. And that's exactly what I mean, you know, whereas before, if I amp that speed up a little more or teeing it up even higher, all of a sudden that is over there. But anyway, trying to hit fairway, if you will, not a fairway finder, but I call it a bullet. So I'll tee it lower. Again, I like to work it left to right, so I'll be aiming it just slightly left. and I'll just barely choke down on it, and I really don't try to do anything differently. I don't try to hit down on it, but this is just gonna have a lower launch.
It's basically just all set up in position.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
changes everything.
It's gonna have quite a bit lower launch. It's gonna run. It's not gonna carry near as far, but my dispersion with it is quite a bit tighter. Normal.
Any guesses on any numbers for that one?
I mean, speeds right now probably aren't too, I'd probably low 70s. I'd say 70, 72-ish.
72 point what?
4, I'll go with.
Just off, 72.8.
Okay. And I mean, yeah, carry, that's probably only flying, I mean, 270, maybe?
281. It's warm.
281?
You know, maybe
okay. Yeah.
humidity.
That's right. So yeah, I mean, you know, that's one, that's great. You know, it's not, doesn't have a lot of spin. It's going to roll. It doesn't curve very much. So it's, you know, I use that. I hit that shot actually quite a bit at Augusta. Like that's number 7 at Augusta. I hit that. Number 17 at Augusta. I hit it. It's like those holes that are, some of those holes, they're so straight. You're like, how, I don't know how to curve it, and you make it, the tee shot, if you curve it, it makes it harder to hit the fairway. So that's one where I know it's not going to curve very much, and it'll get on the ground and then kind of run.
Is that a shot someone teaches you? You just figure that out while you're practicing?
Just messing around. I mean, I like going to the range and screwing with stuff, and that's how I kind of figure stuff out. And I don't know, I just did it, and I always heard you need to have a go-to shot, or you're on 18, you need to hit the fairway, you need to have something, and I feel like that's kind of become that shot for me.
So I've seen a lot of those. I've seen you hit a lot of those shots on tour. What I remember vividly is the shot you hit on 18 at the Players.
Yeah.
Probably the opposite of that shot. Is
Yes.
that one still in the bag? Is that something
it
we
is.
pull out?
Yeah, it's I don't hit it as often. I mean, that was with a 5-wood, but so it's a lot harder to curve, but I do.
Do we have a name for this one?
Probably more of a slinger than it is a junior draw, but I do hit this shot.
Top spinning forehand.
Yeah, exactly. I've hit it on 10 at Augusta a lot. I hit it on 2 at Sawgrass, hit it on 16 at Sawgrass a couple times. It's just, it's a shot, it's very similar to that, but with it turning right to left, it doesn't spin as much, it gets on the ground quicker, but it is going to roll so far. So it's all very similar. You know, if I was aiming that one just inside the rough line, I'm gonna probably aim this one a good 40, 50 yards right of that. I gotta tee it up just, I mean, it's still low, but not as low.
Okay.
Because I'm shutting the face down, it's gonna come out quite a bit lower. So I'm aiming it over there to the right, and I'm literally just closing the face down at address.
The swing still feels pretty similar? Or are you doing
Pretty
more
similar.
to...
If anything, I may be swinging a little right, but I'm not like really trying to manipulate much. I'm trying to do it all with setup. You know, maybe put a little bit more on my fingers and my grip. But yeah, just set everything up to the right, and I feel like I'm gonna swing kind of just over there, and it should start right and turn. So that's gonna be faster. That's probably, if that other one was 72.8, that's probably gonna be 75 maybe, 74 or something.
75.5.
There you go. So, but it's
only
probably only
258.
Exactly, but it's gonna run forever.
So the spin on that is what, sub 2,000, 1,900. So what's a normal, if you're just hitting a stock, just trying to hit a little cut out there?
So yeah, I'm gonna hit just a stock one here. It's probably gonna be low 2,000s with a solid one. Should fly kind of mid 290s, I'd say, maybe high 290s. But so yeah, this will just be a stock one. I'll try to start hit the kind of at that cut line there on the left. Should go out and then just fall a little to the right. That's what I found with the testing of this new driver. Like I heeled that a little bit, but like the spin, it's, you know, normally that's one that would jump up to maybe high 2000s, potentially 3, and like that's probably what, 25-ish?
25.76.
Yeah, and like that's great. I mean, what's that carry?
Keeping us in the ballpark there. 290.
I mean, that's huge for a miss, right?
You're kind of blowing my mind with some of these predictions. This is pretty good. You should do this for a living.
I was gonna say, this is my job. I need to know some.
So was there a point, you mentioned kind of changing your philosophy on driving rather than just kind of hitting up and wailing on it? What do you remember a specific point where you're kind of like, I need to retool this a little bit?
I mean, honestly, like I feel like the Titleist, the guys, the staff, I mean, they help with
Yeah.
some of that stuff. It's obviously they're fitting, making the clubs and giving me optimal for a normal shot, but at the same time, you know, I'm going out there with JJ and he's like, can you hit this? Can you hit this? Can you turn it this way? It's like you want to be able to have all the shots, and also they're willing to help in the sense of like, okay, you're maybe losing some to the field in this regard or this regard, and you know, you're launching a high, which is great, but at the same time you could be picking up more mud balls. You know, it's something, it's like, it's wild to think about, but it's like, it's a truth. It's the reality. So it's maximizing just little things that I would never think about, like a land angle or a peak height. And it's, you know, they're like, if we can get it here, it may maximize that, or it may just bring this in a little bit or get this way. And then it's playing different golf courses, I think, is just more what did it for me. I don't specifically remember one, you know, moment where I'm like, I need to have more shots, but it's just I want to be able to feel like I don't just have one shot with this club like I would anything else. I want to have a variety and be able to use it, kind of thing.
People always talk about how much you guys still have in the tank. Where would you say you are on that spectrum?
In general,
yeah.
I mean, I don't like the guide drives. I'm not like, oh, I'll just hit this 90%. Like I'd swing at it, but like I'm not left heel raising everything.
Are you warmed up enough to do that?
We're
It's
about to
early
find
in the
out.
morning. All right, yeah.
So, I mean, what that last one I hit, what was that, 74 or something?
73 and a half.
Okay, it was a little miss, so I mean, it's probably closer to 75.
So we're looking like 79.
Yeah,
here.
try to get high 70s is good. We're not at in the 80 stretched out quite yet. So yeah, it's a little higher tee, and yeah, it's going to launch really high and hopefully go far and straight.
It's 79.2. There we go. All right, well, that feels like a good one to end on. I feel like I learned some stuff. I learned what I can't do, certainly, which is always a good, you know, place to be.
For
so
sure. Thanks,
appreciate
DJ.
it, man.
Appreciate it, dude.